Hey, Fresh Ghost Gaming fans, we're going to do something a little special for you today. 4th of July, one of our members, Larry, invited us over to his house for a fireworks spectacular, and it was insane. It was awesome. You should have seen his setup. It was like a professional show in his backyard. We were feeling vibrations in our chest from the explosions. Anyway, we decided that his sunroom area would make a nice gaming spot. So I brought my table over today, and we're going to play some kind of surprising stuff today. If you know us, you know that we've been really getting into Horus Heresy era stuff lately, and Larry has kind of been our champion in that. He's been playing 30k for quite a while now, and we're all finally buying into it as a really fun system, not to mention just a great hobby experience. So we're going to be playing our first official 30k bat rep today. So let's take a look at our armies. Alright, you guys have seen a lot of this stuff before, but probably not in this scale. We're going to be playing 2250 points, because 30k works better at higher point levels. You have to bring out big toys like the Spartan. We'll start with his Warlord. You've seen Pollux before. He's going to be trucking around with a big old unit of breachers. There's a Thunderhammer and the Sergeant, 3 Graviton guns, an Apothecary, and the whole squad is going to deep strike somewhere onto the table, because that's what he does for you. This is his champion model. But he's going to be proxying a Sigismund, because he's still waiting for his Sigismund from Forge World. He is nasty. One-on-one, we think he can easily take out any non-Primarch model, and he'd have a fair chance. Yeah, he'd have a fair chance against some of the Primarchs too, honestly. Moving on over here, he's going to be with a big old blob of Tactical Marines and an Apothecary, and they're going to be hiding out in the Spartan. Quad las cannons, heavy bolters. There's another squad of breachers in a Rhino here. There's a power sword in that squad. I don't see... Oh, 1 melting gun, 2 melting guns right there. So like I said, they're in that Rhino. We have a Sicaran with las cannon sponsons, and 2 Predator Executioners with Machine Spirit. This one does not have the heavy bolter sponsons. That's Larry's 2250. Alright, this is the stuff you have not seen from me before. Sorry about the lighting, the angle. We're playing in the afternoon, the sun's kind of going down, so you'll get some better views of these guys as we play the game. But I've been building a Death Guard army, and again, I will apologize for the lack of paint on my models. I've been working on a lot of other projects lately, and my guys have kind of been shelved. But I have them assembled and ready to go. They're going to be led by Mortarion and his 5 Death Shroud guys with melted bombs. I also have Typhus, and we're going to be playing this as post-Mortarion's fall to Chaos, so I do get to use him as a Psyker. He's got his 5 Grave Warden bodyguards. There's 1 Chain Fist right there. I have 2 tactical squads, all with bolters and Voxes, Vox casters on 1 guy in each. The sergeants have melta bombs and rad grenades and artificer armor. I also have a Master of Signal right here. He's going to be hanging out with a heavy weapons squad, which counts as the troops, because I am using the Rite of War for the Death Guard. Artificer armor on the Master of Signal as well. 5 missile launchers in that squad. And then for my armor and some anti-armor punch, I have a Dreadnought Talon, double las cannons on both, and Graviton guns on both, because Graviton guns are really good for taking out armor. And then I have the Dorado pattern Dreadnought with the Anvilus autocannons and the Ilos missile launchers. So 2250 points. Alright, here we are after deployment. We are going to be playing a pretty standard type Maelstrom mission. We changed up the deployment. We decided to go for a random deployment. But we're going to do the Maelstrom mission where each of us draws 3 cards, or up to 3 cards, discarding any that we can't complete, or that we could not have completed at the beginning of the game. Let me rephrase that. So if I lose... If I lose all my characters and then I draw 1 at the end of the game that says I have to issue a challenge, I have to keep that card because I could have completed it at some point in the game. Anyway, the bunkers are impassable, so we're not going to be able to play in them. Buildings are just ruins, but we have objectives all over the table. Larry's got his fists all mech'd up over there. Pollux and his breachers are going to deep strike, and I've got my guys in a big old white line right this way. And Larry has the first turn. We are actually going to be using the Maelstrom of War cards Larry picked up from the Adepticon Horus Heresy event. And there's some really cool objectives in there, so we'll see if any of that coolness comes into play, and we'll see if my slow foot slogging army is going to be able to keep up and grab some objectives. I got a feeling I'm going to have a hard time in Maelstrom games with this army list. All right, Larry has turn 1. I failed to seize. I rolled hallucination for Typhus's power, so he's a hallucination and psychic shriek. Nothing big. Turn 1 coming up. Top of turn 1, Larry drew secure objective 3, destroy an enemy unit in the shooting phase, and destroy an enemy unit. So he targeted my tactical marines who were sitting out here with the 2 executioners and wiped them out. I had no chance. 20 hits on them with all their plasma guns that don't get hot. It's crazy. So those Marines are gone, dead. I gave him first blood, and a point for destroying unit, and a point for destroying unit in the shooting phase, so that's 3. The Sicaran targeted the Dorito, and took off 2 hull points with rending hits from the autocannon. Last cannons both missed. It is stunned. And that Dreadnought is also stunned. He took 1 last cannon hit from the Achilles. Not the Achilles, the Spartan. And then that Dreadnought took 2 more last cannon shots, but he is okay. He didn't take any damage. So now I'm going to move into bottom of turn 1, draw some cards, and see if I can't try to catch up. Bottom of turn 1. My Death Guard advanced very slowly, like they are wont to do. Move through cover for the whole army is nice, but not being able to run is difficult. Sorry about the kids running in the background. Anyway, my Dreadnoughts spread their fire around. Most of them fired at the Sicaran and did nothing to it. I did snap fire the one over here, and I hit the Spartan, but I forgot his las cannons were -1 strength. That's bad. So I did no damage. But the Master Signal and the missile launcher guys in the building dropped D3 barrages, and I rolled a 6, so I got 3 barrages. I dropped them right here on the corner of the Predator, where my one dude way back there, you can just see his antenna sticking up over the building. He was able to draw a line of sight to the back corner of that Predator and use his Vox to call in the strike right there. I had some pretty good scatter results. I got 1 hit on the Sicaran, and then 3 total on the squad. I got 2 penetrating hits on the Predators, and then 2 immobilized results, which was awesome. That meant that one was wrecked. So the 5 missile launchers fired at this guy. I say using their normal ballistic skill of 4. The Master Signal has the Signum and the artillery barrage. It says he can use them in lieu of shooting. I'm arguing that you have to pick one or the other. You can't in lieu of twice for the same action. Larry says I could have, so I would have actually had 5 hits. Probably wouldn't have made much difference because Larry still made both the cover saves for the shots that got through. Anyway, that's all that happened, though. I wrecked the 1 Predator, got 1 point for Big Game Hunter. I got an objective I couldn't possibly score because, as I was bemoaning, Gets Hot doesn't work on those Executioners, and Larry doesn't have any other Gets Hot equipped weapons, so I just discarded at the end of the turn. Scored my 1 point for killing his tank, and we're going to move into turn 2. Top of turn 2 saw all of Larry's armor kind of wheel around. He didn't really get great cards for objectives. He didn't score any this turn, so I'm not going to go over into what they are. He managed to kill 2 of the Grave Wardens with the Predator. I got a whole bunch of invulnerable saves thanks to Cataphracti armor being awesome. I killed 1 of the Death Shroud with the las cannons from the Spartan, and blew up the Dreadnought over here with the other one, so that was some good shooting. Other than that, the Heavy Sport Squad over here was destroyed by Pollux and his boys, dropping 28 bolter rounds, hitting on 2s thanks to being Imperial Fists. 28 bolters and 5 pistols, actually. Master of the Signal is down to a single wound. I had some really bad rolls with him and some in his 2-up armor saves with Artificial Armor, but he's alive. The reason I did all the Lookout Sirs to keep him alive instead of one of the missile launcher guys was because he's got rad grenades, so he's going to lob one over here at this squad to drop them to toughness 4, because they are the Imperial Fist Phalanx guys, so they're at toughness 5, or the Breachers, so toughness 5 on that big old blob is nasty. But they are so tightly packed. I got so many blast weapons I can drop on them, and it's going to be ugly. So we're going to move now into bottom of turn 2, draw some new cards, and see what I get. Bottom of turn 2, I drew take objective 2 and hold the line. I got to clear that path full of breachers, so I tried my hardest. I had Typhus turn around, the Grave Wardens all shot at him with their chem rounds. I think I killed 1 Marine with them because breachers base to base are toughness 5 with all kinds of crazy shenanigan-y bonuses and rerolls for blast weapons. I did nothing to them. I took 2 hull points off and stunned that Predator with my Dreadnought. My Grave Wardens, or Death Shroud moved ahead. Morty turned around and dropped a Phosphex bomb on him, only killed a couple of them. It was a bad turn for me. Morty got stuck in combat. He took 1 wound in the fight. I lost the Master of Signal. He charged in just to give them the -1 toughness from his rad grenades, because I was hoping that Typhon and his buddies would get in there. Nope. They decided to roll like a 4 when they needed a 7 to charge. So that's it. I scored 0 points, so it's still 3-1. Larry's in the lead. He's about to take turn 3. Top of turn 3, I lost 2 more Grave Wardens to plasma cannon shots from the Executioner. My entire squad of Death Shroud got wiped off the board by the Land Raider shooting 2 last cannon shots at it first, and then bolt pistols. They were landing on charging, and they dropped me down to 1 Death Shroud guy, and then when they charged, I got hot on my flamer, took a wound, and Sigismund just Black Sword killed him, so he's dead. Over here, I lost the Dorado finally to the Sicaran, and that's it. I got this Dreadnought, those TAC Marines, these two, I got Typhus and the Grave Warden, and then I got Mortarion over here, who punked Pollux in a challenge, killed him with just a 1 instant death hit, and that's it. Although the Marines they're holding strong. They passed their leadership check. So now we're going to move into bottom of 3. Larry got 0 points from objectives, and I managed to get Warlord, so we're actually at 3-2. It's a much closer game than it looks, considering that I have 14 models on the table. Awesome. Bottom of turn 3. I tried to get a little bit of vengeance on Sigismund and his boys here. First, I started out by moving a little closer with everybody and then making them hallucinate. Every Marine in the squad turned around and thought Sigismund was a traitor and punched him in the face. He only took 1 wound, though, so that was pretty lucky on Larry's part. My Dreadnought killed 1 guy with a las cannon blast and then charged in and killed 3 more in assault. But I didn't know Sigismund was fearless, so that whole squad just doesn't care. I killed only 2 with a Fury of the Legion attack from these guys. 30 shots killed 2 Marines. That's bad. Excuse me. Too much pizza. Back over here, though, is where all the good stuff happened. Mortarion had 8 guys around him, so he just swept, did his 360 spin sweep attack, killed 3 more, and then actually Typhus failed to kill anybody, and so did the Grave Warden. He totally whiffed. He only hit 1 time and then rolled a 1 to wound, so that didn't do anything. But Larry, you returned the favor, did 1 wound to Typhus, and then rolled a 10 on his leadership check, and I swept him off the board with Mortarion. I then consolidated to stay within 12 inches of my table edge, and I got 1 point for Hold the Line. So I have Hold the Line, Warlord, and I got 1 point for Big Game Hunter taking out that Predator earlier. I got 3 points total to Larry's 3 points. Somehow, with my 14 models on the table, I'm still at a tie at the top of turn 4. So we're going to move into 4 and see if Larry can't keep knocking me back. Top of turn 4, Larry's Spartan rolled around here and shot at... where he shot some las cannons at Mortarion, and then a bunch of the tactical Marines here. I went to ground, so I lost 1 Marine from the las cannons. I lost 2 more from plasma cannon shots from the Executioner that came around here. I did get covered through the combat here, and then going to ground gave me the extra bonus, so that was lucky on my part. They did their Fury of the Legion shot last turn, so they weren't doing much of this turn anyway. So that's cool. Over here, the combat... it's kind of centered around the Dreadnought right here. Sigismund finally gets in and did a glancing hit with the Black Sword, and all the crack grenades did nothing. The Power Fist did nothing. I hit Sigismund in return 1 time. Larry decided to take the wound to him because he's an Eternal Warrior, and like a boss makes his cover or his invuln save. So that combat still just going to spin right there, but Mortarion's on his way. Oh yeah, I forgot the Sicaran long range sniped my Grave Warden and Typhus off the table. Grave Warden failed his 2-up save on the autocannons, and then Typhus died to las cannons. So now, here we are, moving into bottom of turn 4. I'm going to see if I can't get some points here, because Larry is now up 4-3. Bottom of turn 4, all the action surrounded right here in the middle. Mortarion moved forward, did his little ninja leap forward out of the shadows, whatever you want to call it, and then charged in, challenged Sigismund. I drew the card that said issue a challenge and gets me a victory point, so now it's tied 4-4. Sigismund has to accept. He struck Mortarion, did 1 wound to him. And I struck back and did 2 to Sigismund, and then all of his crack grenades came at the Dreadnought, nothing. Power Fist of the Dreadnought, nothing. Dreadnought stomps 2 more, but again, the whole squad is fearless, so they're all just going to sit there until next turn. Top of 5 now coming up. Top of turn 5. Sorry about the lighting in here, it's getting a little dark. We are playing out in the sunroom. Mortarion managed to finish off Sigismund, though, and didn't get any other spillover wounds because he only hit him 1 time, wounded him 1 time, and then he failed his save. The Dreadnought killed another Marine, and then 14 more crack grenades coming back at the Dreadnought, failed to do that 1 single hull point, and same thing with the 2 Power Fist attacks. Larry has swung at that Dreadnought something like 40+ times with just these Marines, needing a single 6, and can't get it. So that Dreadnought's still alive. He managed to get 1 point for being locked in combat with a walker at the end of the turn. If he had killed it, he would have gotten 3, which would have been great. His tactical Marines here are objective secured. Like I said, we're playing 7th edition standard Maelstrom rules. So they did manage to objective secure that objective out from underneath me. So he has 5 points to my 4. So I'm about to take my turn and see if I can't get some more points here to maybe even draw this game out. Because this is turn 5. We're going to start rolling to see if the game ends. In other news, he shot up a bunch of my TAC Marines. I got 2 guys left, and they're holding. Bottom of turn 5 coming up. All right, so again, this is really the only thing that's going to matter in this fight. I drew another card that says I have to destroy something in close combat. You'll notice Mortarion is all by himself. He killed the Apothecary in a challenge, and then killed 3 more guys but with spillover wounds. Dreadnought didn't kill anything, and finally, after another 13 crack grenades failed to do anything, the 2 Power Fist attacks from the Sergeant penned the Dreadnought and blew it up. But nobody was hurt. Actually, it didn't blow it up, just wrecked it. But Mortarion swept all the rest of the Marines off the table and consolidated behind the building with his 6 wounds, because he keeps getting them back from It Will Not Die. And that's it. If that Rhino weren't there, Mortarion would have scored 2 more points for that objective, because a Legion-specific unit would be holding it. But Larry moved that Rhino up just to get ready to shoot Morty this turn. So now, as the score stands, I forgot to give Larry a point here, because he did grab objective 3 with the Land Raider. He has 6, I have 5. We're going to roll to see if the game ends on a 1 or 2. Oh, that's a 6. Gonna go on. Mortarion and 2 Marines. Let's see if I can't fight my way out of this one. Alright, sorry about the lighting in here, guys. It is getting dark. This game's taking longer than we thought it would. This is what happened. Top of turn 5, Larry surrounds Mortarion with the Sicaran, the Rhino full of troops, and the Predator. Predator backed up so he can grab Linebreaker if the game ends. And then just shot into him with everything. Killed 1 more Marine with the Land Raider. So there's still 1 dude sitting there. I got to make a leadership test for him. On camera. That's a 7. He's good. Anyway, drop Mortarion down to 2 wounds. He's still alive and kicking. Whoa, the camera wants to keep auto-focusing. Anyway, my turn, bottom of 6, Mortarion runs around the corner of the building and then uses his little teleport thing to grab this objective. One of my objectives was to have one of my Legion-specific units holding an objective at the end of the turn. It's worth 2 points. So Larry right now has 8, because he grabbed 2 more points for securing objective 3, and he got a point for securing another objective somewhere. I can't remember which one he got, but anyway, he had 2 more points that turn to give him 8, and now I have 2 more points to give me 7. So I need the game not to end, because one of my other objectives is to get 6 over there. So I need the game not to end and Mortarion not to die. I failed my Will Not Die roll, so I have 2 wounds left. We're going to move into 7 if Larry can make that roll, or if he can fail that roll. You got a die handy? Hold on. You mind if I roll it? I'll just do it right here on camera.
Do it up.
And that's a 4. I can't remember. Does that mean game goes on? Yeah, game goes on. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on into turn 7. Larry just wants to get Mortarion dead. All right. It's a good thing that the game has ended, because we can't really see the table anymore. The Predator came around here to hold on to Linebreaker, even though the Rhino backed up to get it there too. Larry managed to grab that objective underneath the Rhino, so he's got 1 point for that, 1 point for Linebreaker there. And the Spartan, who's just been racking up points, managed to grab another point right there by securing an objective with a heavy support choice. So that thing that got you 3 points this turn, dude. This game, pretty good. So he's going to end up with 11. He just wheeled that last cannon and killed that last Marine back there in cover, and then Morty died to the Sicaran's fire right there. The last cannons went first and did nothing. Plasma cannon took a single wound off. Last cannons made both my saves, but he got 1 rending hit with the autocannon and finished him off. So it was a long shot for me, but I had to try to take it, and it didn't work in the end. So good game though. Larry ends up winning 11-6, I think is what the final score was. 11-7. Thank you for giving me a point. It was awful kind of you. Anyway, great game. We're looking forward to a lot more 30k from Fresh Coast Gaming. Jeremy's got Word Bearers coming. Mike's got his Emperor's Children. Will has AdMech. Jeff's kind of toying with the idea of buying AdMech. Adam is waiting patiently for the right moment to strike. I think peer pressure is going to get to him like it's gotten to the rest of us, though. But thanks for watching, and hopefully next time you see the Death Guard on the table, they will be significantly more painted.